Good evening, and welcome to the commencement presentation of the Thomas Jefferson Senior High School class of 2006. I'm Student Body Co-President Matt Ritterspa.
And now I'm Student Body Co-President Nate Shavanik.
Now, in recognition of the foreign exchange students who have joined us for the class of 2006, the flags of Brazil, Japan, Mexico, Italy, and Germany are joining the Stars and Stripes and the state of Minnesota flag.
Before we start, we'd just like to say it's been a wild ride, and we've been very privileged to share the last 4 years with all of you here today.
We truly feel honored to be standing in front of you guys, and we wish you nothing but good things in the future.
Now, if you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, if you would remain standing for the national anthem.
Thank you. Now, we have a man who needs no introduction, the Harvard-bound, #1 in our class and #1 in our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, your honors graduate of the class of 2006, Mr. Garrett Augustine.
Ladies and gentlemen, could we please share a moment of silence to honor the achievements of these graduates and their friends and family here today. Thank you. Now we have a musical selection from the Jefferson Chamber Orchestra, Queen Nora's Suite Movement 3, and followed by a musical selection by the Jefferson Treble Choir, Homeward Bound. You may be seated.
Thank you. I now have the pleasure of introducing 3 students who have composed original speeches. The Constant Gardener, written by Eric Tweet, Ripple of Change by Brianna Picotte, and Just Be You by Garrett Augustine.
What is up, Jefferson? When I stepped through the doors of Jefferson High School for the first time, my life was surely never the same. Jefferson has always been transforming. The new activity center was built, the media center had been updated, and Flag Hall underwent a huge renovation. Although we were able to appreciate these new physical changes when we began high school, many others occurred through the past 4 years. A metamorphosis has happened in the community, inside Jefferson, and within ourselves. Aristotle once said, "The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet." Reflecting on this quote, we have encountered both the dilemmas and the successes of our past 4 years. For example, in 9th grade, I questioned why every single essay I had written had to be in 5 paragraphs. Now I see how my English teachers have helped shape my writing that has been instrumental in college entrance testing, job and college applications, and public addresses in the community. The Pathfinders program at Jefferson was in its early stages, as I have only faint memories of the juniors and seniors who showed up to homeroom once a month. Now, our class is the group of seniors, as we give advice, tutoring, and educational experience to incoming freshmen. We all need to thank the gardeners in our years of high school. As a plant needs tender care, water, and fertilizer, so did each one of us receive mentoring and leadership that helped us grow at Jefferson. Maybe you will appreciate the teacher who taught you something unique or came to the classroom every day bearing a smile. Thank your administrators for keeping the school an exciting and safe place to learn. And possibly most of all, thank your parents. We will truly appreciate the value of the paper corrections, carpools, and crazy cheering sections at sports functions. This educational journey will continue as we embark onto the future. Famous publisher Malcolm Forbes quoted, "Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one." Although our minds weren't empty 4 years ago, Forbes is right, as considerable transformations have occurred within us. As we look towards the future, we can remain open-minded about opportunities. Everyone will undergo changes, whether it is in education, society, or our personal lives. When we each head our separate ways, may we cherish the time spent with peers, family, faculty, and other mentors while looking ahead to embrace new connections and relationships. You may not know exactly where you will be in 10 or 20 years, but if you strive for great heights and reach your goals, you can succeed no matter what path you decide to take. These new experiences define one last thing I will leave with each one of you today. Indian peace revolutionary Mohandas Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." As we have used our past experiences and endured the trials and challenges that high school has provided, may we all use the roots of our education to enjoy the fruits of hard work and make an impact on the future. Congratulations.
This past January, I had the honor of being part of a group of 30 juniors and seniors called JAG Corps, who came together and made a difference. We didn't create world peace or find a cure for a deadly disease, but we did manage to raise enough money to buy books for kids in New Orleans after the disaster of Hurricane Katrina. We came together as a group of students, as a school, and as the youth of the Twin Cities to do something great for others right now. As Robert F. Kennedy said decades ago, each time a person stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others, He sends forth a ripple of hope, and those ripples build a current that can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. Seniors, my challenge to you is to be a drop that sends forth a ripple of change. Although our JAG Corps Service Learning Project may have only helped a few people, to those that benefited from our work, we were heroes. To them, we made a difference. Those kids may have no idea who we are or where on earth Bloomington, Minnesota is, but they know that somewhere there are people who care about them. In physics, we learn that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Economics teaches us that what we purchase at our local Target store is affecting the standard of living for the people halfway around the world who made the products. Sociology teaches us that a culture is created by the actions and reactions of individuals when they interact with one another. All of these subjects, along with many others that we experience in high school, summarize a major life lesson. That being, we are all connected, and we all make a difference. Every move we make affects how someone else is going to view their world at that given moment. We are connected to our friends when we chat over school lunch or a cup of coffee. We are connected to this graduating class of 2006 because of this day which we have worked together toward for 4 long years. We are connected to our community of Bloomington and Minnesota as a whole because it's where we grew up and learned the wonderful values that have been instilled in us, such as the Minnesota Nice. And believe it or not, we are connected to the world because there are probably 1,000 other groups of high school seniors right now on this planet about to throw their caps in the air to celebrate the very same thing that we are here to celebrate tonight. In recognizing the connectedness of this class and the world, we can also see that we each make a difference. Whatever it is that we may look forward to after this night, we will be the change, the drop that creates a ripple. Each of you on this floor in front of me will make a difference, and in turn, learn from that experience. Seniors, we are headed off into the sunset, and all that that really means is that tomorrow, there will be a sunrise. We are the future, we are the difference, and we will stay connected. Good luck, congratulations, and changing the world starts now.
When I was 4 years old, I bent a spoon. It was beets for lunch at daycare, and the spoon bending must have been some kind of toddler protest. First, the cool kids bent their spoons, and, well, if the cool kids did it, of course I had to do it too. Now, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but the daycare lady sure did. And I was forced to come back the next day with $1 to pay for what I did. A whole $1. So I did what any 4-year-old would do. I cried. In fact, I cried all the way as I walked home with my mom. I didn't want to give up a whole $1. I mean, I probably only had 3 whole dollars in my piggy bank. Geez, I just couldn't bear to lose a crisp $1. But my mom, smart cookie as she is, said, well, Garrett, you could give 4 quarters instead. 4 quarters, I said. The tears vanished. Of course I could do that. 4 quarters is hardly the same as $1, right? Well, this story illustrates 2 powerful messages to me. First is just dance to your own beats. Be unique. I mean, just because everyone else is bending spoons doesn't mean you have to. Even if it seems like a great idea. I mean, I heard a quote once. It says, don't always go with the flow. Be the flow. I mean, this is so important now that we're going off into the real world. We're legal adults now, which is awesome. But unfortunately, it also means we have to take responsibility for everything we do. So you certainly don't need to be a lemming following another lemming off of a cliff. Do something because you want to, not because someone else tells you to. And going forward, the best advice I've heard is be your own version of you, not some half-breed version of someone else. Now take time for personal reflection and spend this summer asking yourself, what's important to me? What are your hopes and dreams? What are your priorities? The head football coach of St. Olaf College, during a football camp, told me his list of priorities. He said his priorities were in order: God, family, fishing, and football. He said until God, his family, and his bass fishing were taken care of, he didn't even think about football. Now that's pretty powerful, coming from someone who's a football nut. I mean, another great example is country music icon Garth Brooks. After having sold over 100 million albums and being voted Artist of the Century, he quit the music business because he needed to spend more time with his family. Talk about having your priorities in order. Now, like I said before, dance to your own beat, be unique, and get your priorities straight. The second message is appreciate your education, because now I know that 4 quarters is pretty much the same as $1. And I'd like to give a shout out to the gym office. You guys rock, and so does Miss Bianchi. Thank you, and congratulations, graduates.
Thanks, guys. Now sit back, relax, kick up the feet if you want to, and enjoy the sounds of the Jefferson Wind Ensemble playing Luke's Eterna, followed by the Jefferson Connection singing Prayer of the Children.
But hope for a better day. Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce the platform guests that we have with us that will be participating in tonight's program and have provided much support over the years for Bloomington. Starting on my right, your left, faculty representative Pat Lubers. If you could please stand as I read off your name and then hold your applause until the end. School board member Maureen Bartolotto. School board member Chuck Walters. School board member Arlene Bush. Board chair Mark Hibbs. Assistant superintendent Dr. Janet Pladsen. And to my left, Superintendent Dr. Gary Prest. School board member Tim Culver. School board member Jim Sorum. School board member Maureen Peterson. And faculty representative Art Seplak. Let's give them a nice round of applause for being here this evening. On behalf of the Jefferson faculty, the Bloomington School District Administration, and the Board of Education, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 36th commencement ceremony in the history of Bloomington's Thomas Jefferson High School. 36 years of dignity and decorum have preceded tonight's program. We have worked hard to make this program a formal and ceremonious event because it's an event that marks a turning point in each of these graduates' life. Tonight, the tradition of graduation is extended to include 394 more young people who will soon become members of the Jefferson alumni. In our formal ceremony, you will see that many faculty members are participating in many roles in this program. Their voluntary participation is another demonstration of their involvement in and dedication to the lives of these young people. I thank them for their willingness to help us with organizing and directing this evening's ceremony. Their names, the academic credentials, and a description of the graduation hoods are listed in your graduation program. I also want to thank Assistant Principal Deborah Holman for coordinating tonight's ceremony, and I want to thank support members Dinah Anderson, Linda Melke, and Judy Harrison for their huge efforts in putting together tonight's event. I would also like to acknowledge two teachers who are retiring this year after giving many years of service to Jefferson and to the Bloomington schools. As they stand to be recognized, please join me in a round of applause for special education teacher Judy Kirsten, and counselor and one of our traditional graduation name readers, Pat Lubers. I suspect that every adult here this evening has been an important part of the lives of our seniors, and I thank you for supporting them to reach this goal. As we have all learned in life, not every road is paved with success. Some or most of us have experienced small or sometimes profound disappointments. To the graduates, by your very presence here tonight, you have shown that you have learned to react to both ends of this spectrum of life, learning from the past and becoming prepared for the future. Class of 2006, I am honored to stand here tonight as your principal. Over the last year and years, I have come to know many of you well, and as I have observed you participating in all the events of high school. I have asked recently several members of the faculty to provide me with some of the activities that you have been involved with over the past year. This list of accomplishments is not meant to be all-inclusive. I'll leave out a lot of things, but it is intended to provide each of us with a brief picture of the breadth and the depth of the diverse levels of success for the members of the senior class. Each event that I'll be listing is a major accomplishment, and I will read several of them. So please just sit back and relax for a few minutes as I take you down memory lane for the class of 2006. These accomplishments cover 4 general areas: academics, fine and performing arts, athletics, and community service or leadership. In the area of academics, our school was named by U.S. Senator Mark Dayton as an award winner for the School of Excellence in Education as a direct result of the hard work of the faculty and staff, the parents, and the students at Jefferson High School. 7 students in our class were named as commended or finalist National Merit Scholars. Our students hosted a car show on a rainy day, and they worked with an artist in residence program to design and create a mosaic bench at our front entrance. One of our students in the class, for the 3rd time in the past 4 years, was selected to be a candidate for the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program. Annually, only 141 students are chosen in the nation for this award. Last year, as juniors, the entire class took the MCA exam in mathematics, and they scored the 2nd highest score in the state of Minnesota. And a year earlier, as sophomores, this class scored the 7th highest score in the state in the MCA reading test. 6 seniors this evening participated in the highly challenging and highly rewarding Mentor Connection program. 23 seniors successfully completed coursework to earn an honors diploma. We had an increase in our AP exams this year with a total of 477 exams taken in 17 different subject areas. In the area of the visual and performing arts, hundreds of our seniors took parts in concerts, performances, recitals, plays, and contests. State High School League State Solo and Ensemble contests. Seniors in our bands, choirs, and orchestras earned 26 Superior Awards, the very top, and 27 Excellent Awards. Also, 3 students achieved the Best of Sight for that contest, and 1 student was named as the Best Male Vocalist at a competition. The Jefferson Theater program had a great season and provided our community with plays throughout the year. Many seniors in art and honors art participated in different competitions and festivals, earning many awards. 148 student works of art were displayed in various places, such as the state capitol, the Congressional Art Show, and at exhibits such as at Concordia, Normandale, River Falls, University of Wisconsin, and I believe on Monday it'll be in our Bloomington boardroom and also for the Sister City program. 2 debate students qualified for the state debate tournament. Our speech team did a fabulous job of hosting the Minnesota State High School League State Speech Contest this spring for the 2nd year. 3 students on our team qualified for the state tournament, with 1 receiving 3rd in the state and 1 receiving 5th. One of these speech students qualified for the national tournament, an incredible accomplishment. ADECA is a new program at Jefferson, and in its very first year, we are sending 3 students to nationals. For the first time in 5 years, our Science Olympiad team qualified for the state tournament. 1 senior here was selected from thousands of applicants across the country to participate in the W.E.B. Du Bois Scholars Institute at Princeton University this summer. Different area, the area of athletics. Hundreds participated in our 28 sport programs. 32 seniors were named Honorable Mention All-Conference. 27 were All-Conference. 4 were named Honorable Mention All-State. 10 were named All-State. We had teams participating at the state tournament in boys swimming as a relay, boys lacrosse, and adaptive athletics. A number of students participated as individual participants in a variety of state tournaments. All-time school records fell for the most career wins for a goalie in boys hockey and 4 records in gymnastics. 3 out of the 4 events and an all-round were set for school records. Jefferson won 1 Lake Conference team championship in the prestigious Lake Conference in boys hockey for the 2nd year in a row, and we finished 2nd in boys soccer, football, and boys basketball. Our boys hockey goalie distinguished himself by being named to the Frank Brimsek Best Hockey Goalie in the State Award, and a gymnast won 3 out of 5 events at the state tournament and took 2nd in her 4th event. Our adaptive athletic teams participated in many state tournaments throughout the year, and 1 player was consistently named to the state all-tournament teams. 2 of our teams were named as section academic champions in girls soccer and boys hockey. In the area of community service and leadership, A number of events stand out that are strongly connected to the compassion and the humanity of this class. The Jefferson Student Council, working with and representing all the students, had many initiatives. All students throughout the country started their school this year in the aftermath of the devastating Hurricane Katrina. Our students at Jefferson immediately started raising money, and in a short time, they raised over $12,000 that was matched by a community member. The students were recognized for this dramatic accomplishment by the Bloomington Loves Its Kids program. A number of other Jefferson students were also recognized at that same program. The Veep Community Food Drive produced several pallets of food and thousands of dollars in donations. The student council representatives collected over 170 units of blood during 2 blood drives and assisted first-time givers through their donation process that will last them a lifetime. Prom was a spectacular Hollywood affair which would broadcast by BEC-TV as the students lined up on the red carpet. The senior student council members provided strong leadership and guidance for fostering relationships and developing a very positive school climate at Jefferson High School. The National Honor Society, one of the most active chapters in the state, coordinated several activities on behalf of Jefferson. They participated in 2 major fundraisers, contributing more than $5,000 to the March of Dimes and another local charity. They contributed more service hours than any other high school in the state for the Twin Cities Marathon. 2 seniors and a junior from Jefferson promoted a statewide awareness program for the homeless as they organized the Box City Vigil on the state capitol grounds. And all in all, hundreds of our seniors took part in formal and informal leadership and community service programs that never get reported to anybody, but are done by good people doing good deeds because it's an important and valuable part of their life. This certainly is a significant snapshot of accomplishments of our class of 2006. I can say as a principal that our society is in great hands for the future. To the class of 2006, for the significant contributions that you have already made, and for the future work that you will do, I applaud you. A note to parents and friends, because of the dignity of the ceremony, please refrain from loud yelling or whistling or using mechanical noisemakers when certain names are read. This will assure that each graduate's name can be heard by his or her family and friends. After the ceremony is over and the recession has taken place, the graduates will then return to the arena floor, and members of the audience are welcome to join them for congratulations and lots of picture opportunities. It's my pleasure to announce that from the recommendation of the faculty of Thomas Jefferson High School, I do hereby certify the following members of the class of 2006, upon receipt of their diplomas, will have completed all of the requirements set forth by the Bloomington School Board and the Minnesota Department of Education. These students are entitled to all the privileges and all the responsibilities of high school graduates. With great pleasure, Superintendent Prest, members of the school board, parents and guests, I present to you the graduating class of 2006. Superintendent Gary Prest, as many of you know, was previously named as the Minnesota Superintendent of the Year for many good reasons. He has been part of our commencement program for the past 9 years of his superintendency. As you also probably know, he will be retiring at the end of this year. So tonight, this evening, will be his last formal appearance on behalf of Bloomington Public Schools. He has provided the leadership that has had a huge and significant impact on all of our schools in the Bloomington system. the results that will remain and help guide us for years to come. Superintendents usually impact lots of areas of educational program, and Dr. Prest has been exemplary in this. One significant picture that I will always remember about him is that he is deeply passionate about each and every student and the specific day-to-day relationships that caring adults have with that individual student. I will be forever grateful for the guidance, the help, and the friendship that he has provided to me personally throughout my career in Bloomington. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gary Prest to the podium.
Well, thank you for your very kind words, Principal Hill. On behalf of the Board of Education, the administration, the faculty, and staff of the Bloomington Public Schools, I extend greetings and best wishes to parents, grandparents, family, friends, and to our outstanding colleagues, the faculty of Thomas Jefferson High School. And to our seniors, congratulations on completing 13 years of elementary and secondary education. I'm confident that there have been many times in the past 13 years when you've wondered if this day would actually ever come. There may have been some of your parents and teachers who wondered that as well. But it has, and so today you sit before your family, friends, teacher, community, the whole world, ready, anxious, excited to receive your high school diploma, signifying that you are prepared to take your place as responsible citizens and Americans, defenders and lovers of life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and to answer the big question, so what are you going to do with your life? Now, I would imagine each of you has an answer, some picture of yourself taking your place in the world. And for some of you, it may be very sharply focused. For others, it may be very blurry and unrecognizable. But don't worry, you have time. However, let me suggest two answers that go beyond the surface and typical expressions of future thinking and are quite timeless. They are simply this: know yourself and be kind. Oliver Wendell Holmes, the American physician, poet, humorist, and father of the great jurist, wisely observed, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Learn to understand yourself, what motivates you, fires your passions, brings you joy, saddens you, makes you laugh, makes you cry. What is it that makes you tick? Hone your values, your faith, your convictions. Be a person who lives from the inside out with courage, and understand that while the universe does not spin around you, you contribute to the spin of the universe. And be kind. Mahatma Gandhi, Indian spiritual, political leader, and humanitarian, said it best, "I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again." In a world too frequently racked with pain, suffering, and injustice, you have a tremendous calling to do good, to be kind. Don't hesitate or waste a moment, for our strength will rest in your contributions, first with those closest to you, and to others in ever-expanding circles of kindness. So it's not complicated. Know yourself and be kind. And one more thing. While tonight is yours and we celebrate and applaud your collective and individual achievements, you know that for 13 years of schooling, you've had the support, care, and love of family, friends, teachers, special people, and in fact, an entire school community who have viewed your education as paramount. I'm confident that your individual expressions of gratitude will be appreciated by all who knew you when. And now, as your last act collectively as the senior class of Thomas Jefferson High School of 2006, understanding that you have a fine education and can understand directions very well, and you didn't practice this at all, I'm going to ask you all to stand. And for those of you in the audience, get ready for a Kodak moment. And on 3, seniors, turn around and express your appreciation to all those who are here tonight to celebrate you, but also who have been there with you through it all. 1, 2, 3. And now, seniors, if you would turn around and be seated, we'll prepare for graduation.
It's a little fun.
Baheen Abedi,
Stephen G. Addyman,
Sarah Elizabeth Adolph,
Anzela Siraj Ahmed,
Jessica Julie Alsaker,
Kurt Donald Anderson,
Kelly Suzanne Anderson,
Stephanie Christine Anderson,
Charlotte Ruth Antonson,
Antonisha Armstrong,
Garrett Jesse Augustine,
Brooke Dunning Olick,
Dennis Michael Axelrod,
Rachel Bailey,
Bruce Allen Baker,
Zachary Jude Ballinger,
Jason Robert Bartnett,
Megan Delane Barnett,
Sarah McClellan Barnett,
Kevin McPhail Barr,
Adam Daniel Barton,
Lindsay Michelle Bardell,
Rolf Beckman,
Sarah Christine Boffman,
Anna Marie Berzelius,
Anthony Eugene Bell,
Bailey Lynn Bismeyer,
Davindra Barat,
Russell R. Bissonette,
Jonathan Barton Bird,
Jessica Chong Ball,
Jeffrey Lee Blanchard,
Michael Robert Borneton,
Jeremy Elliott Borkin,
Natalie Ann Bourgeois,
Megan Sue Bosacker,
Andrew James Brinkhouse,
John M. Bresney,
Joshua Lewis Brose,
Jennifer Ann Roman,
Wyatt Marshall Brule,
Jacob Edwin Brown,
Blake Bias,
Brian Joseph Buell,
Jonathan Thomas Burnside,
Shannon Lee Burgess,
Jack Richard Butler,
Audrey Norma Butler,
Kenneth John Cameron,
Samantha J. Callahan,
Christopher Carlson,
Rebecca Cantuleon,
Anthony Stephen Carter,
Talia Paige Carlton.
Giovanna Sofia Castilli.
Jennifer Marie Cassidy.
David O'Brien Chase Jr.
Elisa Joy Chapman.
Tiffany Marie Chang.
Asha Chang.
David John Christensen.
Nathan John Chovanik.
Hannah Elizabeth Clay.
Angela Catherine Christensen.
Leonardo Luis Cordero.
Stephen Matthew Clinton.
Nicole Cassandra Culver.
Rachel Marie Kramer.
Laura Marie Dahlman.
Clement J. Dabney III.
Paula Makara Daniels.
Jacob Paul Dahman.
Crystal Hart Davis.
Cassandra T. Davis.
Kyle Brandon Decknodle.
Jessica Anna Davis.
Raven Diane Doozer.
Tabitha Tara Detloff.
Matthew Dixon.
Alyssa Joe Diamond.
Rachel Aaron Doble.
Baylor Thomas Dieter.
Noelle Marie Dudley.
Callie Jean Donahue.
Benjamin Liam DuPont.
Jennifer Lynn Dunham.
Amy Ann Erickson.
Ryan Timothy Dykesman.
Richard Lewis Erickson.
Max Phillips Erickson.
Eric Pedram Fahimi.
Joseph D.L. Esterly.
Savannah Lee Fallstrom.
Makara Nicole Fairman.
Samuel Elliott Farrington.
Soren Fechner.
Juliana Danette Feldhacker.
Lauren Susan Fulner.
Carolyn Jolie Fiddler.
Catherine Ann Philippek.
Sarah Lynn Feiner.
Kelsey Marie Finks.
Kevin James Finley.
Travis Fleming.
Stephen Jonathan Fowler.
Christina Renee Fraser.
Brett James Friesen.
Nicholas David Frymet.
Kenneth Craig Garrett.
Christy Marie Gerke.
Courtney May Jurdy.
Erin Elizabeth Glennon.
Jacqueline Louise Gattro.
Ferris Leonard Glover.
Dustin Dale Grealis.
Jason Robert Grayka.
Carrie Jennifer Groff.
Michael Jason Greeny.
Eric Matthew Gustafson.
Kathleen Ann Gunderson.
Colin James Hall.
Sophie Luann Hackala.
Andrew A. Hansen.
Melissa Ann Hannibal.
Nicole Renee Hargesheimer.
Laura Marie Hansen.
Arif Hassan.
Brett Andrew Harris.
Madeline Charity Hayes.
Shunsuke Hayasaka.
Mallory Ellen Hale.
Melissa Santina Hayes.
Craig Michael Heinen.
Michael Donald Heim.
Tristan Allen Haskery.
Krista Noel Heinitz.
Ashley Christine Hellstrom.
Rebecca Sue Heitzman.
Molly Ann Henshey.
Haley Helm.
Alexandra Lee Herbert.
Sarah Louise Henshey.
Michael David Hoffman.
Cassie D. Hess.
Joshua James Holcup.
Haley Joe Holman.
Carl Eric Francis Holman.
Eric Allen Holm.
Caitlin Mary Hull.
Jonathan Michael Hovey.
Samantha Joe Ely.
Brian James Huntington.
Peter Michael Jacobson.
Anne Christina Imsdahl,
Justine Marie Jarnes,
Dallas Jude Jagila,
Annette Renee Jurl,
Aaron LeSueur Johnson,
Joshua David Johnson,
Jill Rebecca Johnston,
Brian Donald Jones,
Keyshawn Joshi,
Thomas Jeffrey Youngworth,
Michael Paul Kelleher,
Amanda Nicole Kiewicz,
Bridget Bree Kildall,
Song Ah Kim,
Stacy Jean Kinsella,
Monica Christina Kipfelsberger,
Aaron Douglas Kleist,
Michael Andrew Clevin,
Joseph Patrick Kluver,
Lindsay Michelle Knapp,
Adam Robert Kohler,
Andrew Scott Kopnick,
Stephen James Costa,
Caitlin Michelle Coy,
Ryan Meliker Krominga,
Christina Maria Krull,
Matthew Allen Kujawa,
Kelly Ann Kunkel,
Alex Daniel Kermay,
Matthew Thomas LaBombard,
Kelly Marie Lacombe,
Kimberly Ann Lacombe,
Catherine Elizabeth Lall,
Matthew John Lalem,
Nicholas Allen Lalem,
Michael Stephan Landis,
Jessica Lynn Landgard,
Timothy John Langfels,
Rebecca Lindsay Lapham,
Andrew David John Larson,
Andrew Christopher Larson,
Andrew Ross Larson,
Anna Juhi Larson,
Bradley Stephen Larson,
Jeanette Marie Larson,
Kevin Philip Larson,
Valerie Page Larson,
Tiffany Nicole Lay,
Andrew Alexander Lee,
Zachary Avir Lacrone,
Samuel Ling,
Joshua James Lee,
Reed Stephen Lindberg,
Kelsey Danielle Lindberg,
Daniel Douglas Lindquist,
Rachel Brittany Lindell,
Maraka Elizabeth Lundeen,
Alexander David Litzy,
Nicholas W. Lorsback,
William Thomas Lopez,
Anthony Theophanes Lufkin,
Sean Michael Laughlin,
Stephen Ton Lee,
Andrea Janelle Lund,
Megan Lynn Mahoney,
Lindsay Michelle Magonia,
Scott Robert Manning,
Nicholas John Myers,
Leo Joseph Marks III,
Michelle Kristen Marion,
Taylor Marks,
Christopher Albert Marquardt,
Courtney Nicole McAllister,
Austin Gregory Mattees,
Patrick Christian McDaniels,
Audrey Lorraine McCullough,
Graham Josiah McFall,
Caitlin Helena McDonald,
Chelsea Elizabeth McLean,
Garrett David McGraw,
Douglas Robert Lee Mead,
Gregory John McLean,
Samuel Michael,
Raghav Mehta,
Jonas Anson Michelow,
Tyler Joseph Michaels,
Kevin Joseph Middlestead,
Carrie Lynn Mickelson,
Natalie Jane Miller,
Alicia Marie Millenacher,
Patrick Allen Montbriand,
Brian James Moe,
Derek Matthew Morin,
Shannon Clancy Moran,
Tegan Nicole Mott,
Sonia Claire Marone,
Joanna Lynn Mueller,
Daniel Paul Miller,
Angela M. Nelson,
Whitney Rose Nasland,
Mackenzie Kuznick Nelson,
Kevin Grant Neal,
Don Chan Win,
David Douglas Nelson,
Frank C. Iguana,
James R. C. Newman,
Kyle Reed Olson,
Fong Bick Win,
Rollin Wesley Otness Jr.,
Ashley Ann Neiman,
Brian John Paul,
Sarah Marie Ostland,
Evan James Patterson,
Chase William Otto,
Michael Reese Paulson,
Mary Brayton Palin,
Michael Clark Pavelka,
Chelsea Marie Paulson,
John Christopher Pedersen,
Charles John Paulzine,
Carrie Lynn Petler,
Brian Thomas Pearson,
Stephanie Rebecca Peterson,
Emily Elaine Pearson,
Catherine Joan Petroff,
Carrie Ann Peterson,
Brianna Sue Pacat,
Teresa Jean Peterson,
Timothy James Platt,
Benjamin David Fow,
Michael Joseph Powers,
Christina Marie Pitcher,
Jessica K. Proskin,
Charles Dominic Potter IV,
Michael Allen Rayleigh,
Valyn M. Preska,
Jordan Page Randall,
Stephanie Marie Prout,
Joshua David Roush,
Allison Michelle Ransford,
Megan Jane Richard,
Stephen Clark Ribnick,
Benjamin Charles Rindell,
John Allen Ripa,
Sarah Christine Ritterspa,
Matthew Blair Ritterspa,
Benjamin D. Roberts,
Adam Charles Roberson,
Laura Marie Rudser,
Ashley Marie Roth,
Jenna Alice Resnaco,
Mamie Rosalie Ruman,
Kelly Michelle Rinda,
Andrew Paul Ryder,
Joseph Derek Sage,
Brian Rosted Sath,
Alexander J. Salmi,
Christine Mariko Sacco,
Matthew Mark Schlungen,
Trudy Jolynn Schomburger,
Lisa Stephanie Schmidt,
Caitlin Dubois Schmitz,
Philip Lawrence Schoenfeld,
Scott Robert Schofield,
Megan Naomi Schoweiler,
Timothy Brian Schwartz,
Amanda Ann Sesker,
Allison Christina Shear, Brian David Shoup,
Reka Prubakar Shenoy,
Gregory R. Selesky,
Elizabeth Gwen Sias,
Jennifer Elaine Skoog,
Michael Charles Simonson,
Catherine Leanne Snell,
Blake Allen Smith,
Savi Sok,
Carolyn Schneider,
Zachary Southwell,
Michael Thomas Solberg,
Dallas John Stodick,
Camilla Carolyn G.S. de Souza,
Ryan Dean Stark,
Matthew Myron Stafford,
Charles Robert Stuckey,
Daniel James Stevenson,
Abigail Rose Swanson,
Lauren Brianna Swain,
Casey John Swanson,
Jacqueline Marie Swanson,
Danielle K. Tanaka,
Stephanie Elizabeth Tack,
Chad J. Tigan,
Anthony Philip Tajas,
Nicole Faye Thompson,
Adabawali Fuad Tariba,
Abigail Mary Tinberg,
Michael James Thermos,
Brian Michael Torini,
Lynn Tu,
Theodore David Trevor,
Joanna Rose Tran,
Eric Stephen Tweet.
Brooke Francois Trenda.
Chanseum Ung.
Benjamin Viet Trong.
Alexander Wade Van Horn.
David Christian Twitey.
Brenda E. Velasquez.
Jacqueline Nicole Van Hoff.
Benjamin Fraser Wagner.
Sue Vang.
Michael Marie Waldorf.
Corey James Belgersteig.
Christopher Stephen Worth.
Michael Waldemar.
Kyle Willems.
Stephen Jarvis Wheeler.
John Douglas Wing.
Alyssa Nicole Weinberg.
Jenna Kathleen Wolf.
Emily Ann Wolfley.
David Malik Witchett.
Jennifer Marie Woodley.
Luann Yemaine Fezheisen.
Brandon Donald Yeager.
Kendall Doreen Young.
Salam Yosef. Daniel Philippe Zayans.
Will the members of the graduating class please stand and face the audience? Congratulations to Jefferson's newest alumni, the class of 2006.